This has been a glorious conference. It pleases me greatly as I notice that each succeeding conference there is a larger sprinkling of Japanese, Chinese brothers and sisters, and Hawaiians, Islanders, of Indians, and Mexicans, Spanish, Americans. And it makes me very happy indeed, and I wish to address my remarks this morning along that line, if I may. Recently there came to my desk a letter anonymously written. Generally, the wastebasket receives all such messages written by people who have not the courage to sign their statements. But this time I saved it. It reads in part as follows. I never dreamed I would live to see the day when the church would invite an Indian buck to talk in the Salt Lake Tabernacle. An Indian buck appointed as a bishop. An Indian squaw to talk in the Ogden Tabernacle. Indians to go through the Salt Lake Temple. This letter now goes into the fire also, but it gives me the theme on which I wish to speak. If Mrs. Anonymous were the only one who felt this way, but unfortunately I find in many places and many directions intolerant expressions, while there is an ever-increasing number who are understanding and willing to accept the minority groups as they come into the church, there are still too many who speak in disparaging terms, who priest-like and Levite-like pass by on the other side of the street. John the Baptist lashed against these intolerant people. He says, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that God is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. The Lord would eliminate bigotry and distinction, class. He talked to the Samaritan woman at the well. He healed the centurion's kin. He blessed the child of the Canaanitish woman. And though he personally came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and sent his apostles first to them rather than to the Samaritans and other Gentiles, yet he later sent Paul to bring the gospel to the Gentiles and revealed to Peter that the gospel was for everybody. The prejudices were deep-rooted in Peter, took a vision from heaven to help him cast off his bias. The voice had commanded, rise, Peter, kill and eat, when the vessel had descended from heaven containing the beasts and the reptiles and the fowls. Punctilious Peter had expressed his lifelong prejudices and habits in saying, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And then the heavenly voice made clear that the program was for all. What God hath cleansed, it said, that call thou not common. Peter's long-sustained prejudices finally gave way under the power of the thrice-repeated command. When the devout Gentile Cornelius immediately thereafter appealed to him for the gospel, the full meaning of the vision burst upon Peter, and he exclaimed, God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. And now, Mrs. Anonymous, when the Lord is made of all flesh equal, when he has accepted both the Jew and Israel, when he finds no difference between them, who are we to find a difference and to exclude from the church and its activities and its blessings the lowly Indian? Have you read the scriptures, ancient and modern? Have you felt the magnanimity of the Lord, his kindness, his mercy, his love? If the Lord were to acknowledge a superior race, would it not be the very people whom you would spurn? O intolerance, thou ugly creature! What crimes have been committed under thy influence? What injustice under thy satanic spell? Charlotte Gilman wrote, I ran into a prejudice that quite cut off my view. If it be so wrong for fraternization and brotherhood with the minority groups, and their filling church positions and pews and pulpits of the Lord's church, why did the Apostle Peter maintain so positively, God put no difference between us and them. What God hath cleansed, that call not thou unclean. Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Did not the Lord know that in these times there would be many duplicates of Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous who might need the warning which he gave through his prophet Moroni? Who will despise the works of the Lord? Who will despise the children of Christ? Behold, all ye who are despisers of the works of the Lord. Woe unto him that shall deny the revelations of the Lord. Yea, and ye need not any longer hiss and spurn, nor make game of the Jews, nor any of the remnant of the house of Israel. For behold, he remembereth his covenant unto them according to that which he hath sworn. Again the Lord said through Paul, Therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whoever thou art, that judgest. For when thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. Thinkest thou this, O man, that thou shalt escape the judgments of God? And Moroni, for behold, the same that judgeth rashly shall be judged rashly again. He that smiteth shall be smitten again of the Lord. What a monster is prejudice. It means prejudging. How many of us are guilty of it? Often we think ourselves free of this destructive force, but we need only to test ourselves. Our expressions, our voice tones, our movements, our thoughts betray us. We are often so willing that others make the contacts, do the proselyting, have the associations. Until we project ourselves into the very situation, we little realize our bias and our prejudice. Why will we, the prospered, the blessed, hiss? When, oh, when will we cease to spurn? When will we who think we are free of bias rid ourselves of this unconscious prejudice? When will we who are now making game of these wanderers cease? When will we cease throwing our pennies disdainfully to them at the gate?